Okay, looks like we do actually have some people in here. Um, oh wait, there's stream lag, so there's, okay. Whoops, music. I know what I'm doing. Alright, so this is a drawing. This guy, we got kind of a boss coming up. Oh, that's way too loud music on my end. Oh, wait, there's stream lag, so there's, okay. Oh. The stream up on my phone at the same time. So we've got kind of a floor boss here, and this sort of back piece up here. A hinge hole, another hinge hole, another hinge hole through that, with some kind of interesting bossing around it. I'm going to go put this up on my other monitor, and then I'm just going to hop to it. Oh, and okay. Alright, I'm the only participant in chat. Very good. So, new, looks like this is in millimeters, not milligrams. I mean, mass will be in milligrams, but I am doing this in educational, so don't pay me any money for this, because I can't sell it. Cannot sell these designs. I'm just doing this just to teach someone, I guess. I think I'm going to start on the right plane, and I'm going to do kind of a... Let's do this kind of dealio. Yeah, it's 84. Oh, it's not centered. That's fun. My God. Okay, so we got that one dimension right. 164. For reference, I'm starting with sort of the floor piece, and that'll give me a good. It'll give me a lot of reference volume for where to put everything else, and it gives me faces on both ends to put drawings, I think. 3:30 a.m. Where are you? That's no, I'm serious. I'm using Educational Edition. Look at that. Let's get the little thing. I am not going to stream piracy. I already had the fun of that once, and once was enough. 3:30 a.m. You must be in, like, what, Sweden or something? Sounds about right for that time. Yeah, 8 hours in the future. So. Oh no, Heinonen, so you must be in Finland. I'm guessing. I could be wrong. So let's see, 32 from the drawing, and it is 38. You know what? I'm gonna add a source and just put this up in the corner so I can at least kind of gesture to it. Browser, create new. Okay. Hey, check that out, it works. Okay. I'm gonna put it kind of up over here and tweak with the transform a little bit so we can at least see it. Come on. Crop left, 400, nope, too much. 200, 200, nope. 150, yeah, that looks good. Let's go with like 80. There we go. So I can't really gesture to that easily since you can't see where my mouse is because it's underneath my mouse, but that at least gives you a reference. So I'm working for the bottom right now. 3:30 in Finland. Okay. So I gotta remember to look at my larger drawing here. It looks like we are 38 millimeters off the floor. And this piece is 28, not 289, 28 millimeters thick. And those are going to be collinear, so I'm going to do that. There's reasons to have it be collinear versus equal versus some of the other, but in this case I think collinear works best because if they're equal they won't be quite right. This one would be lower because it's the circle's further this way. Alright, so that's that first boss. I'm going to do a mid-plane because, I don't know, seems nice and safe. I think I'm going to wait on those holes because they've got some kind of funky counterboring going on. But now we can do an extruded boss on this side. Whoops, no, I want to do it on the front plane. Oh no, wait, it's weird. It's got this kind of funky... Yeah, I'm actually going to extrude from this face. That's what I'm going to do. Because if you look on the drawing, there is kind of a... It's not centered. It's got this weird, this very unusual spacing to it. Of course, it's a practice drawing. It's supposed to be a pain in the ass, but... What is that, 19 millimeters? Okay. This radius is 32. You know what? I'm going to get rid of that dimension and make it coincident with that. That's not necessarily best practice if you want to be moving it. Well, you know, I can just do it like this. So that way it doesn't, I don't have weird double lines down here. It is really not at all readily apparent how far off that boss is supposed to be. It's definitely supposed to be 76 millimeters back, but there's no indication of... Oh! It starts 32 millimeters back from the center line. That's bizarre. So, use one of my favorite tricks here, and change the plane. Oh, wait. Keep looking at the wrong window. So we're going to change the plane to front plane right now, because it's... Oh, it's supposed to be 32 millimeters back from the center line of that hole. It's dumb. Okay, so what I'm going to do then is I'm going to come over here and instead of making that midpoint, I'm going to make that vertical so that this becomes on the center plane and it saves me some effort. And then I'll restore the coincident constraint to put that where I want it. So then we can put this guy on the front plane. He won't complain. And this guy is supposed to be 114.2 to 114.3. I'm going to make it 114 because I just can't be bothered. That's, I don't know, kind of an absurd dimension, if I'm honest. Whoops, exit the sketch. Okay, 114. That'll fully define that. Whoops. Okay. So now I can extrude this. We're going to give it an offset of 32 millimeters from this plane. Offset's in the wrong direction. Blind, 76 millimeters. So that way it exactly matches what the drawing says. And I really have no idea how I'm going to dimension that that rib. That's going to be super ugly. I mean, it's 19 millimeters, so I kind of have some idea how I'm going to do it, but not looking forward to it. I'll probably have to use an offset surface or something silly. But now I can come back here. Oh, does that really meet up like that? Oh, that's so ugly. You'd never be able to fill it that nicely. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to come around here. I'm going to add some... Does it say how big these fillets are supposed to be? Fillets are round, R6. Okay, and now we hope that doesn't break my other sketch. And it doesn't. Good. That's still going to be garbage no matter what. Because this was drawn by someone very angry. Someone very angry created this drawing. Okay. Extruded boss. Normal 2. Actually, wait. I think there's a hotkey for this. Is it N? It is N. Awesome. I didn't know that. So we've got coming up here. And then we're going to have a full round. If I could make it the sketch play nice. come back down. Whatever, yeah, it's gonna come here. And this surface, or this center point, is 295 up. And the drawing does not make it clear at all, but this is 120 off to the right. For that, I find this drawing exceptionally dumb. Say it's 32 OD? No, it's 57. So I'm going to do a quick 57 div 2 there, and then I'm going to make it display as diameter. Because otherwise it will drive me insane. So now we can exit sketch there, and reverse, make that 22 millimeters thick. So that's most of the geometry, actually. The remaining hard parts, we have to get a boss up here. All the other major massing is done. I'm going to just do that with a quick extruded boss right here. And then by clicking that edge and then doing co-radial, it does all of the relations that I want for that circle all at once. And it's... Oh, you know what? What I'm going to do instead is... I could have it offset from this surface, but that's not fantastic because then you have to have a constraint that's not obvious and doesn't match the drawing. So instead what I'm going to do is come back here, change it to this face, edit sketch, looks good. Oh wait, it's still co-radial to not the edge that it's on the surface with, so I'm going to fix that. If you can, it's good to have all your relations be very tightly tied to the faces they're on and make sure you're not doing kind of dumb things. 64. Okay, that's all our massing. These holes are all different sizes. Oh no, two of them are the same size. But I kind of don't want to deal with them yet. I kind of want to have... What I'm going to do is I'm going to offset surface. Oh god, there's really... So... Hang on, no, I can't do this. I can do extruded boss. Yeah. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna... This is gonna be extra ugly. I can make a sketch. Oops. I can make a sketch on this plane that does... we're gonna make it offset entities bidirectional. I'm gonna do both construction. Or wait, no, I want to have the outer ones not construction because that way it's 3 clicks and I'm symmetric, which over constrains it because I have those dimensions there. What I'll do instead is tell it these two are 19 millimeters apart. And now I can mouse, well, I can't really mouse over this, but, oh, there we go, okay. So now that's concentric there. I can bring this guy down to be tangent over here. Tangent. And that gives me all of the features that I need to then go and make a plane. This guy as coincident and that guy as perpendicular. The hell? Okay, so I'm gonna bring up the drawing again, just because it's really... I'll hide the other drawing. So right up here, this doesn't make any sense. It doesn't at all. Like, you can't... That 3mm fillet has to... Or whatever... Yeah, that 3mm radius fillet doesn't make any sense there, because it has to, right under here, make like a weird undercut. And that fillet has to go between those two faces, so that's a physically impossible fillet to... You can't design that way. You couldn't draw that way in SolidWorks. It just wouldn't work. So I think what I'm going to do instead is I'm just going to wing it, and I'm going to call it contact point as being 3 millimeters below. So I'm going to bring this back up there and make that my reference drawing again. And then hide the plane, because otherwise it just gets all kinds of messy. Normal 2. Actually, I do want to show this sketch, because then it makes it easier to... Oh. I think it's supposed to... Man, I just don't get this drawing. Okay. It's going to be horizontal. What? Oh, I'm on the wrong plane. Edit sketch. Oh, it made me select the old sketch, so that still has things that are loose. That's fine. I'm going to start a new sketch on this plane, and then I can quickly kind of sketch out my geometry here. And then I can show this sketch. Bring this guy over here. Ew, I don't know how I'm going to make that work. Oh, here we go. Okay, point. Coincident with... I'll make that pierce so I can get sort of a guarantee that it has... There we go. Whoops. Is it vertical? Yeah, okay, so it seems to think that this is how this sketch is oriented, which is fine, I guess. Oh, it's not... This is just grossly underdimensioned. Ugh. Well, maybe it's not underdimensioned if... It's underdimensioned. It's just a garbage drawing. This is crap. We'll do that pierce. And I'm actually going to get rid of this one. And we're going to come... This guy's going to get extra long to reach out. And there we go, vertical. I'm not really working normal to the plane here. Oh, that's a lot easier. Vertical, quinkle. Oh, I didn't do it coincident to the point, which is where I want it. Coincident to the point. And then I can give myself a separation here of 3 millimeters, which is as close as it's going to get to mass accurate in this part, because this is just a garbage drawing. If someone handed this to you in an exam and said, draw this part, you have 30 minutes, nobody would get it right. It's just really crap. I'm going to do a quick check here, see how far away that line is from that point. 10 millimeters. That's really close. I think the guy who drew this had some pretty considerable misgivings about the location of all of the features of his part. Because I can tell you that I am 2-dimension, and this doesn't make any sense. Actually, hang on. Yep, right down there, 32 millimeters, that's right. So this guy is going to get an extruded boss. It's going to be mid-plane, 19 millimeters. I knew it. It wasn't going to fit. Drawing's wrong. Yeah, this is a terrible, terrible drawing. So bad. It's kind of unfathomable, actually, that people came up with these drawings that said, yeah, we'll make people suffer and have to learn how to recreate these, because they're just unimaginably bad, and nobody would ever ask you to recreate these drawings, because you can't tell where anything's supposed to be. I mean, I can, because I've done it a lot, but it's still really bad. Okay, so That's what it says on the drawing. View it B, and it's got that god-awful... Did I get this height right? It's 114? I don't know, man. Drawing center line of rib intersects center line of hole. It's just... the mind boggles, man. Okay. Let's go do the rest of this. Not to mention, these meeting right here means that fillet won't work correctly. And it'll probably throw a fit. So, let's do... it said it was 6mm fillets. Normally I wouldn't manually place all these, I just kind of tell it, go nuts, do what you want. Oh hey, that does come out alright. That's weird. That doesn't normally work. Oh, you know what it is? I think... well, hang on. Yeah, that's definitely got to be 120mm from the center line. I don't know, man. Just don't know. It's so bad. So egregiously terrible. You gotta wonder. Actually, I'm not gonna do this first. I'm gonna do the holes first. And I'm also going to see what happens if I make this 120mm from this edge back here. That somehow makes that more reasonable. Yeah, okay, that's definitely not right. It is definitely over here. And the guy who drew this drew that rib wrong. This drawing is objectively wrong. God. It's just disappointing, I guess. Because, I mean, I had to go through this too in school. I had to interpret these kinds of drawings, and I did get pretty good at it, but this is really bad. Blah. You could do this with a boundary face, or with a boundary boss, so you could make that line up right there. But if you did that, nobody would ever machine it. Because it would... suddenly you need a 5th axis to machine this part, rather than something that could conceivably be done with probably a 4th axis, I think. Because this surface would suddenly have all sorts of screwy curves, and then it would just be unmanufacturable. It's... oh god, this is really bad. Okay. Let's... Oh, these are still 10 mils. Let's bring them down. Does it puke there? Yeah, it does puke there. Ugh. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta wonder. Oh, God, that one doesn't work either. And that one's definitely filleted. Yeah, this was drawn by some faculty who's never actually seen a production drawing. And I hope to God he never gets anywhere near an actual production drawing, because he would screw it up. He'd screw it up big time. Oh, this is just egregious. Yeah, that breaks that too. Sake. This is definitely supposed to be a cast part, but if you asked anyone to cast this, they'd look at you like you were nuts. Oh, I broke something. It doesn't want to play nice. What'd I do? What did I click on? Oh, it doesn't like that edge. Okay. Keep this one. I think that's most kind of the lower down ones. That one breaks it. That one, no, it'll do both of those. Okay. I think that's about as much of that as it'll stomach in one pass. We'll do 3 millimeters here. Okay, so let's then do these last two. Nope. Gotta do those before I do that 3mm, otherwise it'll try and put them up top. I'm also not going to fill at the edges of that. Oh, hang on, I already did. Whoops. Let's go fix that. I don't think any reasonable... I don't think it's reasonable to fill at those edges, really. So instead of... I think I filled at that edge down there. I'm going to do this edge. And then it breaks. Because of course it does. Oh, God. This is so bad. I'll save that one for after then. I'll do that in this second pass. It looks like I missed a different fillet down there too. Yeah. This one could definitely come into the first pass. And that kind of gets all of the really obvious casting edges. The ones that you'd want to do if you were doing this with sand mold, I think, and then machining the outer faces. This is terrible, and there's no way around that because that's the way it's dimensioned. So it's just what it is. That leaves that last fillet, which comes in there nice and clean. And then we have some holes on these faces, which I think is kind of the last thing. Oh, I just realized I haven't had the print up for a while. Whoops, I'm good at this. Hole wizard. How long have I been doing this? I have to... People tell me how long I've been going. Oh, okay, only half an hour. It's not bad. Callouts will be defined by geometry. That's fine. I really need to fix that callout format because it's messy and unparsable. So, custom sizing. We're doing a counterbore here. We are doing a diameter... Oh. Hang on. 4 diameter 13. Counterbore diameter 6 down 9? What? Hang on. What does that mean? What could this mean? I think, and the way that I'm going to interpret this is because those have to be through holes. They can't not be through holes. I'm gonna do. This is so bad. This is why we had NC, what is it, Y14 too? To try and make sure that professors never did this again. I'm going to interpret that as diameter 6, upper diameter 13, depth 9. It's just, oh man. Okay, so we're going to go on this face, and they're definitely a rectangular pattern, so start with a rectangle so you know kind of what you're going by. You know that the back edge is 41 millimeters off. You know that that edge is 60 in length. You know that this edge is 127 in length. And we know that from the center line, or rather from the origin, which, hang on, I go, whoops. We know that this is 64 millimeters back, which is just bizarre. I never like these kinds of drawings because it's not indicative of parts people would actually draw or design, because nobody would design a part like this. No reasonable person would ever design a part like this. But that's how I do those holes. If you know it's a square pattern, or you know it's a rectangular pattern, you have all your references, and then you can just go boink, 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 boink on all 4 of the parts you of all the four of the corners. You don't have to do horizontals or verticals or anything to align them all up. You just have a square. It's a good reference, and it's done. So, hole wizards. Next up is these two 25.4mm holes, which sounds a lot like 1 inch. Oh, yes, I do want to reset those. And I'm just going to do those Nancy inch because I can. Let's just tap 1 until I get to eventually 1 inch. Whoops. Here we go, 1 inch. Don't show custom sizing because I don't need it. We want 3D sketch this time. And please give me a center line. Thank you. This one, please give me... Was it? Okay, I'm going to assume, I think from the drawing, because it's not clear really, that this sort of circle-y bit is supposed to be on center with that hole, but it's really not clear. So I'm just going to kind of leave it as is. But that's those two holes. Oh, hang on. I'm going to bring those up before I do the fillets. If you're careful about which edges you're referencing, you can move your parts or move your features around relative to your fillets, which makes it nice if you want to move things before your fillets, and if you want to use an edge somewhere else. For example, I don't think this edge is ever going to go anywhere. Hang on, wait, it doesn't matter. I'm dumb. Let me show you how to actually do this, because the best way is the best way that I think is fairly stable. So you know you want it relative to this cross section, this sort of whoop like that. For the drawing, that is 31 point. Hang on, let's do this in 2 tabs so I can show you what I'm thinking here. 31.762, 31.737. Millimeters divided by 2 in inches. 1 1/4 inches. Yep. All right. So this was. We're gonna do 1.25. And we're gonna do on this face, and I'm just gonna click it randomly because the easiest way to make sure that whoops, goes right where you want it is to show the sketch you want to align it to. Whoops. Do a normal, make it coincident, and that way you know that it's always going to be defined relative to the sketch, and it crawls as far back as it can, so you can always move the feature really early if you want to. You can't really move it further than these 2 boss extrudes, and I don't think you could move it earlier than probably that fin extrude there either, because it would this would put some material in there. So we can check that too. Let's put it up here. Yeah, see this boss extrude up here that makes the rib. The way I've decided to model that, it's kind of unavoidable to have it reach into that hole, so I have to do the hole last. That's also why I didn't put the holes in the starter sketch, because I would have just had to remove that material later with like a delete face, which would be awful, or an extrude cut, and then it's not always abundantly clear that the extrude cut produces that hole, which is super not ideal. But yeah, I think that's the whole part. So not a world record, half an hour to model that, but this is ugly. Whenever you have an outer face and some sort of just a little bit of inset because you have an arc or some other reason for that face to be inset, you get this fugly little combination of 4 facets in there, or multiple facets depending on how that shape is in there. But yeah, broadly speaking, I think that part is how it wants to be. So I'm not going to make this part file available because it's an education part file and licensing, etc. I use a license from the Experimental Aircraft Association, which is how I can do this on my own. I'm going to buy one soon so that I can have a little less restrictions on this, but expressly the purpose of my streaming is educational. So Yeah, I don't think I have anything else. So, to the one other person who YouTube says is watching this, thank you for hanging out and watching and hopefully learning something. Yeah. Feel free to PM me on, I guess Reddit's probably where most people saw this. I'm gonna see if I can kind of fill it there. Just mess with fate. No, didn't like that. Yeah. If I do both at the same time, it does break. That's awesome. I love you, Solidworks, you stupid, awful pile of garbage. Yeah. That's all for that, I think. Yeah, any questions, drop them in the comments when the, I think it'll let you leave comments, I'm not really sure. Still learning how YouTube works. Despite the fact that I've been watching it for 10 plus years now. I'm gonna go take one more look at the drawing and make sure I didn't forget anything. Yeah, I think that's everything. Yeah, have a nice night. Thank you for watching.